Welcome to another exciting season of Samford football, which also means another season of the Coach Chris Hatcher Show. I'm your host, Kevin Blackwell, and of course, each week I will be joined by Coach Chris Hatcher. Coach, good to see you. I hope you had a good offseason.
We did, and it's good to have you back. We missed you last year, and we're excited. We're very optimistic about the 2024 campaign, and like I always say, each and every year, that if you're not optimistic this time of year, you never will be. But and it's an exciting season ahead of us, and the guys have been working extremely hard.
Very good. Well, everybody has a same record right now, right?
That is correct. We're all undefeated.
Exactly. Well, Coach, let's first of all talk about the coaching staff. Samford fans will see some new faces on the sidelines this season, including new defensive coordinator Adam Braithwaite. I know we have a new cornerback coach and the quarterback coach. Talk about these guys and what they bring to the coaching staff.
Well, Adam's been around the Southern Conference for a long time, and then last year he served as the defense coordinator at the Tennessee Tech, and he had a great track record, a little bit more aggressive style than what we've played the past couple of years. So we're excited about that. Chad Scales joins us. He's kind of bounced around, but he was the defensive coordinator at Western Carolina last season, who shut us down there in the second half. So those are two great additions to the defensive side. And then Brendan Bognar will be our quarterback coach this year. This is actually his second stint here. And then another guy, Wes Borderland and Alex Miller, both have taken over the role of our strength and conditioning coaches when Coach Mathers left to go to University of Alabama. So a lot of new faces. Matthew Koyman takes over as our chief of staff. Tara Goolsby left to go to the NFL. But there's not only a lot of new faces, there's a lot of new faces at very important positions within our organization.
Yeah, part of fall camp in spring, I guess, is just assimilating those guys into the family, right? Just getting used to one another.
Well, it is, and how we operate. And the other thing is, I like to pick those guys' brains to see, what they've done at other places that may fit and enhance the operation that we're running currently. So far, so good, and we'll look forward to seeing what these guys, let me say this, what we could all do this upcoming season.
Very good. Well, let's talk about the offense. With graduation of Michael Hires, of course, there is a quarterback competition in fall camp. Coach, you've got a great history of developing quarterbacks. Matter of fact, I would say that's what you really are known for. And I talk about the competition between Quincy Crittenden and Nick Scalzo. I know we saw limited views of both of those last year, particularly with Nick with his injury. Talk about the development that you're seeing in both of those guys this offseason.
They're both very talented players. They bring another dimension to that position that we haven't really had in a couple of years, and that they're really good runners. Biggest thing we're looking for is a guy that's consistently making the routine plays. I think Quincy has the upper hand coming into camp just because at 22, he got in some big games there. Won a playoff game as the sharp quarterback, made a great play against Mercer in overtime to seal an undefeated conference records. But both of the guys are very talented. They both have been working extremely hard. We feel very comfortable. Whichever one goes out and takes the first snaps, we feel like both of them are very capable of leading this team to victory.
Are you anticipating naming a starter prior to the first game?
We'll name one when we're ready. Yeah. And the sooner the better as always. But, both of those guys that got to be ready to play. You never know when your number's going to be called. It's a long season. And, but I am excited about their progress so far during this camp.
Very good. Well, let's also talk about a running back position. Of course, Jay Stanton has been a standard for us at running back. Of course, led the so-called rushing last year. It'd be odd not seeing number 20 on the sidelines this year. Talk about the running back competition. I know we've got some experience there coming in. What are you seeing there?
Big question mark there, heading into camp. I think some of those questions have been answered in a very positive way. But, of course, Jay's been here was here a long time. I think he's been here, I've been here 10 years, so I think he'd been here 9. But Micah Kelly and DeMonte Witherspoon, both of those guys have really looked good. And as of right now, I would look for Mike and both and DeMonte to be able to go in there and split the reps. And we got a few other guys behind them that are coming along, but I've been really pleased at that position. And other than the quarterback, that was probably the second biggest thing that we had to answer during camp.
Of course, their offense is not just about getting the football from the quarterback to run in between the tackles and guards. A good part of your offense is those passes to the running back out of the backfield, which is extension of a running game. Talk about the importance of that and how that's shaping up with our running backs.
Well, that's one area we need to improve on is our ball catching. But, we do have some good receivers that are out there as well with B.J. Rice coming back, who's been a pretty good player for us here lately. Ian Cousins is going to be another slot receiver for us who's extremely fast. E.J. Mason is out there, and then Brendan Jenkins. Those guys hold down the starting spots, and then we think we got 6 or 7 other guys that can provide us some good depth out there. So been really pleased with our receiver depth and how they developed throughout the course of training camp.
Of course, Brendan was a great surprise to Samford fans last year, winning freshman honors there. Talk about a name that we don't know yet, but we will know very soon at receiver.
Well, I think there's a couple that could be out there, but Preston Bird, who's a freshman, comes in, and he has tremendous quickness and speed. We got to get him a little more consistent on catching the ball, but he could be a really electrifying player for us once he learns what to do and get used to the speed of the game. So he's been a very big bright spot for us at the receiver spot.
Of course, none of this happens without an effective offensive line. Of course, Coach Bostic has been kind of a mainstay with us in offensive line, and we're talking some starters this year. We got some experience there.
We do. I think that's the strength of our offense. Cooper Frazier will be he'll be the center this year. He was banged up, last year, didn't get to play as much as he would have liked. Chris Noble, Luke Burns, Dak Brown, and then the left tackle position. We got a battle between D.J. Food and Duncan Johnson right there. So, but we do feel good. I think we got 7 or 8 guys up there. We feel good about putting in the ball game. And as of today, that has been a really consistent crew this August.
Very good. Well, let's talk about defense. On defense, and Bulldogs return 6 starters, and of course a new coach. And talk about the new aggressive nature of what we're going to be seeing with our new coach. Part of that, I imagine, will involve our linebackers. We do have some experienced guys come back with Jay, and of course with Noah. Let's talk about Noah Martin. I know that he's a leader there on that side. Noah back this season with an all-conference honor, 13 AP. Of course, important for us, Samford folks, the Charles Reed Memorial Jersey winner. Talk about Noah's leadership, what you're expecting from him this season.
He's been a tremendous player since he's been here, as we all well know. He had a great year last year. He's an extremely hard worker. The guys respecting. Again, they voted him to wear number 5, which is the highest honor that you can get on our football team. So that pretty much sums it all up. But I think between him and Jaden, both of those guys, they give us a really strong inside linebacking core. And I would touch those 2 guys up with the best in our way.
Very good. And on defensive line, of course, we do have some experience coming back there. We're all used to seeing Josh Mathias, who also feels like he's been here 10 years, right?
So, yeah, he transferred in here a couple of years ago, but he's looked really good. Makai Gilbert has had a strong showing. Johnny Johnson, who's played a lot of snaps for us. Thomas Neville, Xavier Nurse. The list goes on. This is one area that I've really been pleased with. You're going to carry a lot of new names up there. Nasir Sy, Max Woodard. I could just go on and on. So if those guys are listed, I'm not trying to leave anybody out. But I think we're as deep on the front as we've been in quite some time, which is going to take huge dividends as a season progresses.
Particularly so in conference. Is why it's so important with so many teams coming in very run heavy with their offenses. So got to have some good depth there, and that's part of the fall camp, isn't it?
No doubt about it. So that we have 8, 9, 10 guys that can roll in there and play at a high level. So I'm excited about those guys.
Very good. It's with our quarterback safeties. I know we've lost some guys there. Courtland Morris, of course, being one of those. But we do have some guys that are coming back. I'm kind of excited at the continued maturation of guys like Midnight Stewart, some of those guys. Talk about where we're at, not only with a new coach, but also some new faith.
Well, that position huge because, they're the quarterbacks of the defensive backfield. But Midnight's had a solid camp. C.J. Douglas, who came on and had a great game against UT Martin last year, a freshman from Leeds. He's a striker. He likes to play the games. So I feel good about those guys. Pollard, Dante Pollard, is playing a little bit back there as our nickel at cornerback position as well. So I feel good about the way those guys have been playing.
Very good. And with, of course, special teams, Coach, it just seems like every year we have many games that comes down to special teams, and we do have some experienced guys returning this year. And I want to give a shout-out to Alex Applefield. He's been so consistent as our long snapper. Of course, talk about where we're at with special teams with punting, kicking, and even our expected returners.
Well, that's a huge part of the game that gets overlooked by the common fan, especially in our league, because the parity in our league, everybody's so close, and it always comes down to the end. But we're progressive there. That's one area that, again, I would like to see more consistency out of those guys. But you mentioned Alex Applefield. He came here to walk on. His old man played ball here at Samford. He's a legacy, and he's been very solid. And as much as I get on him, if he's listening, I'm sure he'll be excited that I said some positive words about the young man. But he's really been, just a good, solid player for us. And he's the leader of that special teams group. So looking forward to seeing him have a big year as well.
Who can we anticipate potentially seeing back returning punts and kickoffs this year?
Well, right now we're working 5 or 6 guys back there. Ian Cousins is one of them. DJ Rice, who's done that a little bit in the past. Probably going in. Brendan Jenkins can do it a little bit. Preston Bird, he's pretty electric back there as well. That's just going to be one we're going to have to wait to see. I don't have a good answer for you a week from kickoff, but we've got a few suspects back there. I'm waiting for somebody to kind of step up and take that role, the role by the horns.
Well, the Bulldogs open up the season August the 31st, 6 p.m. against the West Georgia Wolves in Carrollton, Georgia. Coach, you got a pretty good record against the Wolves, 7-1 in your career. Samford fans are too familiar with this team. Last time we played it was in 2008, which was a win. Talk about what we can expect to see from our first opponent against West Georgia.
Well, first of all, I've never played the Wolves. They were the West Georgia Braves the time that I played them, so they changed their name. But they have a tremendous history of football there. And when I was head coach at Valdosta State, that was our arch rival. We played for the Peach Basket every year. It was the team, that you had to beat at the end of the year. So I've followed their program for a long time. This will be their first FCS game in the history of the university. Their head coach is very familiar with us. He's been the defensive coordinator at Mercer the past few years, and he's very tough. He's very tough to move the football on. So they have a lot of familiarity with us. We just don't have a lot of familiarity with what they're going to do. It's an entirely different staff. None of the coaches were head coaches or coordinators at the plate because they were at before. So we're going to have to be prepared for a lot of different looks that we may see. And then, you go on the road, the first game of them being a Division I program at their place, we better bring our A game. And we better do that each week. But again, the preparation is all about us. We need to be the very best that we can be. But it's going to be a tough opener, as we well know, and our guys have been prepared in such a way.
Good. Well, game will be televised on ESPN+. And if you haven't already secured your season tickets and individual game tickets, you need to do that soon at SamfordTickets.com. And, Coach, our home opener will be September 14th against the Alabama State Hornets. And the fans are in for a treat as they come back to Pete Hanna Stadium. We got a new-looking field out there, though.
We do. We were excited. We've been able to practice on the field one time during training camp. That was actually the last practice. So our guys gave them a little extra juice, but with our new recreation center in the north end zone, it's going to be a new look, and I think it's going to really enhance our game day atmosphere. But it comes down to having a good crowd, and we've been very fortunate with that. And this year, unfortunately, we'll have 2 road games to start the season, so we're expecting a big crowd there early September.
Well, the fans will certainly come hungry to cheer on the Bulldogs. It's been a while since they've been in that stadium. Well, Coach, fans are ready for this season. We're excited about the possibilities of it, and hope you'll continue to join us each week for the Coach Chris Hatcher Show. Coach, good luck this fall, and good luck in Carrollton, Georgia.
Well, we appreciate it again. Great to have you back, and want to give a shout-out to my friends over at Onward Reserve for the coaches show fit. They've been great sponsors to myself and our team, and we look forward to you going out and getting you Samford gear from those guys. But it's an exciting time. Football's here.
It is here. We will see you next week on the Coach Chris Hatcher Show.